Another one? What's with these guys?
Hello everyone and welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy Ivorian Spice and we're back at it again with the catch-up volume 82. Of course, guys, this is your Manchester United weekly podcast where we discuss Manchester United. Of course, we reflect on the game that just went past. Sadly, it's the game against Man City that we will be dissecting. And of course, anything news related surrounding our beloved club, Manchester United today, because of course, as you have heard, it's come out from Sky Sports News and a couple of pundits, whereas Ten Hag himself has submitted to the board that he wants to put any contract renewal on hold and, of course, revise these people at the end of the season. And on top of that, Van der Beek as well has been made surplus to requirements according to reports. But before we even get started, straight away, let me bring up my guy, Jerome. Big up Jerome, big up Mehi, Moody that's there as well, and Moo Wong as well. Big up to you guys for tuning in on Facebook as well. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Red United TV on YouTube channel and also follow us on Twitch as well. And of course, make sure you post your questions, anything related to Manchester United as we discuss the game. Big up to you, Jerome, of course. It's not an easy one to talk about today, but hey, it's got to be done, innit?
Yeah, man, it's going to be a painful one, but we can't hide when we lose. It's the same way we come out in glory when we win, so you just got to ride this one out and just see it through, really. Obviously, it wasn't a great result after the international break because we were so much looking forward to it. So, yeah, it's just one of the ones where we just got to just stick it out and just keep it moving, really. They've just given us a reality check that our targets this season is just, we just need to see if we can just get this top four and be done. We're not ready to challenge for the league right now, despite the run of 4 straight wins in the league. So we've been put right down to earth yesterday.
Absolutely, we've been put down to earth, man. We got put out, we got benefit. But guys, for those who are new to the channel, remember to subscribe, smash that like button, and of course, if you want to contribute to this channel, you can always send your super chat live on YouTube, and also while we're live on Facebook, you can send us a star to help contribute to the quality content of this channel. Anything that you send goes directly back into this channel in reinvestment of technology and etc. But yeah. We are going to go straight into it because, of course, it is Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. Well, I'm going to let you start this, Jerome, of course, with your thoughts on that game as we dissect that game, bro, because there's a lot to be spoken about.
There's a hell of a lot. I don't know if we'll be able to even cover everything in the show. That's how much different things were going on in just that game alone. Players underperforming, bottling it, all sorts of stuff. Whether we're actually good enough to even challenge for the league, whether we're just not good enough, full stop, and we just need to have a big squad overhaul. But yeah, there's just too much. But the game itself, it was a very big disappointment after looking forward to it after the international break. Where the 4 players would have come back ready and raring to go, especially with this big run of fixtures coming up. But just to see how easily Man City just ran through us in that first half, it was just so disappointing. Like, literally, the game was over in the first half, and that's the second time this season where we've been 4-0 down in the first half because we had the same situation at Brentford. So there's definitely a weak mentality within the squad that Erling Haaland's going to have to deal with because we can't keep going on like this. And I'm sick and tired of getting pammed by Man City. I know we all know that they're a great team, but we got pammed 2-0 at home, which could have been anything last season. Then we went to their ground last season that got pammed 4-1. They were getting pammed 6-3 again. It was becoming too much of a regular pattern. And I think Erik ten Hag's got a big wake up call in that team selection. Obviously, I accept that he has to play players that are playing well, but I think it's time that Casemiro comes in now. And I think he was a bit naive to go out there against this Man City team at the head he had with that midfield. Like the midfield, when you look at it now in hindsight, it just looks so weak compared to Man City's. Bruno, Eriksen, and McTominay. Like, come on, really? What is that midfield gonna do against Man City? We should have just put three DMs out and just tried to keep it tight. Looking back on it now, but obviously we know that's not Erik ten Hag's philosophy. But I think he's gonna have to make some adjustments in this first season because we can't keep getting beat heavily like this because we're on -3 goal difference now after 7 games, and we can't be just shipping in goals left, right, and centre. So there's a lot that he needs to work on with this squad. But the first half itself, I just can't believe how easily Man City just broke us down. Literally, it felt like we never had a midfield. Literally, after those 4 straight wins that we had, like keeping clean sheets, not conceding that much chances, and the way it just felt like it was in the United of last season. There, we just basically just folded under the pressure. I think the occasion definitely got to us. I think there's definitely some sort of inferiority context now, looking back at that, because they're beating us too comfortably and too heavily. Like, obviously it's Man City. Like, if we lost the game, it was like a tight 1-0 or 2-1 or even 3-1. Everyone would have just looked back and said, yeah, that's acceptable. This is Man City, they're for the league. Erik ten Hag still in the early stages of his squad development. Pep Guardiola's been there for 6 years, so it's expected. But come on, to even let the scoreline to get to 6, like conceding 6 goals is unacceptable at any level. Not even just Premier League standard, any level. So the team's got a lot to think about. The games are coming thick and fast. Got the Europa League on Thursday, then away at Everton on Sunday. So we just need to bounce back, shake this off, and see what we can do. But definitely changes have to be made, like, because that defense that's been reliable the last 4 league games is probably going to need a shake up. I don't know what the situation is with Varane, who'll be fit. Well, I'm dreading the thought of bringing Maguire back into defense that I just conceded 6 goals.
So,
but a lot of the midfield and the defense, I would probably say the midfield is more to blame than the defense, really, because if Man City is running at you, the defense, when you got Haaland, then what's the defense supposed to do if they're not getting protection from the midfield? So there's a lot of work that needs to be done if we're going to close this gap on Man City, because as I keep saying, 4-0 in the first half alone, not even just in 90 minutes, in the first 45 minutes. I can't stress enough how big an issue that is, especially because it happened at Brentford. We can't keep shipping in goals like that.
No, we definitely can't, man. Big up to Mr. East too, that's got his side eye showing us, Liverpool fan ready to troll on us, of course. But then again, Liverpool did troll as well. But I'd rather be a Liverpool fan right now than be a Manchester United fan, to be honest. So big up Mr. East too as well. Big up Biggie UFA. Big up to the guys. Yes, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Big up to you as well. But yes, go straight back to what I thought back in that game. Jerome, when people ask you what's your match prediction for the Man City game, I had that feeling of, listen, I just want a positive result. I'm not out here looking for the W, Just a draw would be positive enough for me. Because I knew it was too much of a big task to ask for Manchester United to go to the Etihad Stadium straight after not playing that much games. And people can say City never played that much games. But they also had a game. I think they had a weekend game and they had a Champions League game. So they had more momentum than Manchester United going into it. We've missed out on a Premier League game and had to wait. We have the game in hand in the Premier League. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 games. So we was never ready for that. The fact that we was lacking match games and rhythm and momentum going into it. And then straight after international break, you don't want to go straight into international break.
Yeah, that's the worst game to come back from.
Derby, where the manager himself has had so many weeks where he cannot work on his plans. Like it just wasn't tailored up, and it wasn't suited for Manchester United to go there and do a thing. And like it's a big ask for Manchester United to go there and beat Man City. And you're right. I've had enough of City pamming us week in, year in, year out. Like for the last 6-7 years, this is like this. Jerome, this is like the third time they scored more than 5 goals in one game. I remember when they thrashed us 5-1 with the playing kit when we were showing respect to the class of the Munich air disaster.
Yeah.
And then we got pammed 6-1. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and that was under 30.
Yeah, under 30. And then we got packed in 6-3. So like I'm tired, and we never get the opportunity to pack in Man City. Like that game being 4-0 down at half time to do a watch along, Jerome. You must know how
that
hard
must
it
have been
was.
painful.
Like,
I felt for you.
You had to feel for me because I couldn't quit what I'm doing. Like it would even be much worse if you see the stream end disconnected at half time. It just shows that like this guy is not serious. And I'm in it to do it towards the end of the day, end of the stream, regardless whether my team is winning or losing at the end of the day, because that's what people are seeking for, that entertainment. But it was a hard watch, after 4-0. And let's go straight into that first half, because that first half, City was just too damn good, Jerome, too strong, creating too many chances. So easy. The first goal on the right-hand side of Manchester United defense, as that was the side that was exposed the most. Yeah. Especially Diego Dalot never had the best game. He never really had the best game. And on top of that, he had Varane next to him as well. Wasn't protecting him. Anthony wasn't really dropping down to help in defense. So the first goal coming from Phil Foden. And out every player, it had to be the Man City lad, born and bred.
It was so fitting from a City perspective. It was so fitting.
So like it really annoyed me, to see that twat, that dweeb, that small dweeb, Phil Foden to get the first goal in, and then that machine, that robot, the one that's made from the lab, showed exactly what he's made out of him. He's an android. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's from Dragon Ball Z. Literally, he's come from the future.
He's not Android 16, 17, 18. He's probably Android 20. We never heard of that Android before. Yeah, he's Android 20. But it was horrible to see that headers going in, Malacia trying to clear it out, and then Haaland just capitalizing on the situation in that first half. Terrible. And then again, Haaland just showing exactly what he's made out of, just a goal machine. Finishing it off with his left foot, tapping it in, and just City just showing just too much strength. And Manchester United couldn't get out. We'll talk about the midfield, because in terms of midfield selection, I just totally think that Ten Hag made a wrong decision in terms of his midfield selection, especially in the game at the Etihad. And then Foden again making it 4-0 wasn't easy. Let me go straight to you, Ola. Big up to you as well, Ola.
Yeah, big up,
let's have your thoughts on the game before we continue about the match.
Yeah, the game was a bad one. I didn't expect it to be that bad. I knew City could win the game because they are more better and more complicit than us, but I thought we could get something out of the game. I predicted a draw in my preview to the game because I think City, they have a lot of good players and it might be hard for us to get the win. But the game went like the midfield was non-existent. Eriksen, Bruno, they were shocking in that game. And as soon as Dalot got that yellow card in the second minute, I knew there was a problem because Grealish will absolutely kill him, which he did. And at that point, I was expecting us to try to defend more, defend better, and maybe eat them on the break. Even eating them on the break was not working. Nothing was working in that game up until the second half that we made the changes. And when we made the changes, we saw a better. But another thing with that is, at that point, since they were already leading 4-0. So what else do they need to do at that point? And once we scored that one goal, they gave us 2 in return. So it shows the level City is and the level United is right now. And some people might blame the coach, but I think the players themselves, they were not up for it. They were making bad decisions. They were not even running. They were not making tackles. They were not marking properly. Look at Sancho. Sancho was very poor in that game, and I was pissed at him because we had some opportunities to counter, like to hit them on the break. His touches were poor, and we knew in that game the only luck we could get was to hit them on the break, and we could not even do that. But in the second half, it got better. Made a couple of changes. Casemiro coming in. I didn't think Casemiro was that great also, but but at least he did a job. Martial getting 2 goals. So I would say the positive was a very good goal from Anthony, a fantastic goal, and the 2 goals from Martial. So it shows with Martial in that squad, it gives you more. Like it can offer more going forward. He's dynamic. He can dribble. He can score. Can link up the play better. And Rashford, I think Rashford was not just fit enough to start that game. He shouldn't have started because he showed from the beginning of that game, and they had to take him off early. And there are questions about Ronaldo coming in. I didn't really think Ronaldo would have done much, even if he was in that team, because we didn't create chances. We didn't create anything. The three goals we scored was just the Anthony's goal was just created by him, a very good strike. Martial's goal was a rebound from the clearance and the penalty. So it's not as if we created a lot of chances. So what will Ronaldo be doing in that team? Being Ronaldo on was just like punishing him. And that was what Ten Hag said in the press conference.
Ronaldo would have just been sitting there up front. Yes. You wouldn't have hardly had any touches.
Yes, you wouldn't have been able to do anything. So I just think, but with Ten Hag, we know it's going to be a learning curve. We are just building this team. And we will lose some games. Not in this manner. I'm not happy with the manner we lost, but we lost to City, and City, they are a far better side than United right now. So we just need to back our manager and keep building. And hopefully we can get a run of result now, because our next 3 to 4 games are not really very tough teams. Fine, we know in the Premier League, all teams are going to be tough, but we can get a run of games and just get a run of results, like 3 or 4 wins in the next game and build off that. But overall, it was a bad performance, but the 3 goals is just the positive I would take from the game. Martial scoring 2 and Anthony scoring that fantastic strike.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because the second half, of course, before we even talk about Haaland, we'll talk about him later. But yes, in that second half, as you can see, goals coming from Anthony as well. With his second Premier League game, that's 2 goals in 2 games in the Premier League. And Anthony Martial coming back from injury, showing us exactly what he's meant to be doing as a striker, showing Marcus Rashford how to be a striker playing up front for Manchester United. Jerome, that's your guy right there. Martial coming in, banging the 2 goals. What does that mean to you? What was your thoughts on Martial's cameo?
Yeah, that was one of the very, very few positives from the game from a United perspective. That Martial came on back from injury, fresh, raring to go, smiling, because we don't see that often. He's smiling despite us getting pammed. He's still smiling. And he scored 2 goals. The first goal was a header, it was like a poacher's goal. The second, the penalty, that was a brilliant penalty. So cool and calm, top bins. It just so it just hit with so much grace. That's why I like Martial. This guy's got so much finesse. I think
the confidence to even come off and take that penalty was like he shows that he wants to really play.
Yeah.
No, even definitely. That. He told Bruno, you better settle yourself down. I'm gonna take this.
Yeah. And I'm glad that Bruno didn't take the penalty, because I thought that if Bruno took it, he would have missed. Just like he missed against Arsenal last season. I don't know. I think it's like that purple patch on the Ollie's kind of just faded out. That freestyle's faded out. I think now we're seeing the nitty gritty playing in the system and the proper philosophy. He's struggling to adapt.
It's hard.
So the pressure's getting to him when it comes to the big moments. But Martial was just calm, cool, and collected. He links up the play. He just makes us a better functioning team. And I think he's a typical Erling Haaland sort of player. I think the only thing with Martial is just his question marks over his fitness. We just need to make sure that we can just look after him and just keep him fit. Like, even if it means that putting him on the bench on Thursday in the Europa League to make sure that he's fit and he starts against Everton, because we need to bounce back. I don't want to see us losing against Everton and losing ground in that top 4 race. So that game on Thursday, I can't remember the name of the team. No disrespect to them, but
Ammonia, something.
Yeah,
pneumonia, whatever.
Yeah, we should be taking care of them. Like we should be taking care of them, handling business, and then the main game is against Everton. So that was the plus point, that cameo from Martial, and it made the scoreline a bit more respectable. Even I shouldn't really even say respectable, because even 6-3 is still a pamming. But it just shows that there is goals in our team if we put our mind to it. So that's the only real positive that I could take from Martial coming on, really.
Absolutely, man. It's a good thing, like I said before. He came on, scored 2 goals, and we've been missing him terribly. Marcus Rashford, guys, terrible game in terms of connecting, didn't hold up play, everything about him. I know it was too soon for him, and to me, it looked like Ten Hag made that mistake of rushing him into the first team. But then again, it could have got a lot worse if I saw Ronaldo play. It really could have if Ronaldo started. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Guys?
I think realistically we just need to get a new striker in because Erling Haaland doesn't fancy Ronaldo in his system. He's trying his best to big up Rashford. You can see it in these press conferences, but deep down, come on, Erling Haaland doesn't believe that Rashford's the man to lead the line in the number 9. I think he's showed time and time again that he can't play that number 9 role. He's just better coming off the left. But it's just that he didn't have any options because obviously Martial's just coming back from injury and he doesn't fancy Ronaldo. So it's almost like he's forced to big up Rashford and put him up there. But realistically, if we continue to play Rashford up front, we're not going to win anything because he's not a natural goal scorer. So we're just going to have to ride it out and just see if we can secure this top 4. And then in the summer, we need to rectify that forward line because Ronaldo's obviously going to leave. And then we need to get a proper striker in because right now our rivals are looking at strikers as well. And obviously City got Haaland, Liverpool got Nunes, who still might come good. So yeah, we need to make sure that we're not left behind on the striker front.
Absolutely, man. We'll definitely. And another player as well that was at the forefront for City, this guy, Erling Haaland, the robot, the machine, the Android 20, the one that's made in from the lab. What a performance for your first Manchester derby to get a hat-trick. And it's been how many years since it's been about 50 years since Manchester City scored a hat-trick in a Manchester derby. And on that day, Manchester City had 2 players who scored a hat-trick. Thoughts on Erling Haaland, guys, on his performance, because he showed exactly what he is, a goal-scoring machine that will break records. 14 or 15 goals so far in the Premier League, and we haven't even hit
14 goals. 14 goals so far in the Premier League. Like I think Haaland is just disgracing. Like he's showing us that the level of the Premier League is not really what we claim it is, because he coming in and scoring these goals, fine. I know he's in a very good City side, but there should be a way to stop him. But so far, they've not been any way to stop this guy. And I think we played into, just because we had a very shocking game, no one really performed well in the game. We give them the opportunity to score those goals. If we had played better, we have done the man marking better, like made better decisions, Haaland might not have gotten that opportunity. Before Varane went off, Haaland was like, he was roasting him at that point before he even went off injured. Martinez was like the better from the bad bunch in that bag because he was trying to clear out the chances, block the one he could. But Martinez is only one player. He can't defend in 4 positions. He can only do what he can. And on the corner, I don't know why Eriksen is the one supposed to be matching Haaland. I don't know. They could have put someone else on him. Eriksen was nowhere to be found. Eriksen was there. Haaland was in another place scoring the goal.
Yeah, so I think for that one, I think there was some sort of misorganization because Varane was off injured and it was allowed back on.
Yes. So I'll be Foden. Foden is a very good player. We know the quality of what Foden has, and he absolutely he rose to Malacia, and that was why Malacia had to go off. And it's a reality check for us too. We all love Malacia. He's a good player. We want to see him get to the next level, but it takes time. He's new to the Premier League. There are some games you will have bad games. Against Saka, we won the game, but Saka played well against him, and now Foden again. So we need to be careful of overplaying him and having too much very high expectation from him. But I believe he will come good, but it takes time. For City has a very good side. They have De Bruyne. Like, Rodri didn't play that game. They have De Bruyne, they have Gundogan, they have Grealish. Like, the squad, if you mention the players, you know that this squad is good enough to compete against anything. That they are one of the best teams in the world. So that's why, even as United fans, fine, we are sad that we lost the Manchester derby, but we know City is better than us. Fine, we didn't expect it to be 6-3, but we know they are way ahead of us, and we want to be on their level. And that's why we have to take it easy and build this team step by step. And I think with Ten Hag, he's getting to realize some things the hard way, but he's learning. He's learning, and as it's learning, I think we get to see improvement. And today, I saw the news today. I was saying they should not hand anyone a new contract, which is good. Every player, they have to fight to get that contract. You can't just get any contract for no reason, which is what we want to see. Even Marcus Rashford's contract will be expiring. He has just 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah.
So that message is being passed to every player. You have to perform to remain in this team. If you don't perform, you are out. And that's what we need. We need to be ruthless. None of these players, they are just here making money and enjoying themselves without putting in the performance. But I think with Ten Hag, I trust in him. I really believe in what he's trying to do. And I think it will come good, but it will take time.
Ola, I'm with you on that. Be like, we need to back our manager, and of course, we've got a manager that's still learning on the job in terms of not learning on the job as in him personally, learning the Premier League,
Premier League,
how things happen in the Premier League, and that's like I said before, he was a bit naive to go into that game against Man City and play McTominay and Eriksen, knowing that it would have been more ideal maybe if you played McTominay or Casemiro, 2 defensive players to just cover and shot and try and hit City on the counter, because it's a tough ask to try and play them at their own game and attack them. I was thinking, we're not there yet, Ten Hag, for you to go to Etihad Stadium and take the game to City and come back with a result, a draw or a win. We're not there. We don't have the personnel. We don't have the characteristics as well, and players are not ready. But guys, what was your thoughts on it? The midfield that Ten Hag played, because I said it earlier on. I thought it was a bit naive, and especially not making those changes earlier on.
I agree.
Should he have went with Casemiro and Fred instead, or Casemiro and McTominay? Even though McTominay had a stinker, would you have preferred him to have that 2 defensive players and putting Christian Eriksen on the bench and then bringing him on if we need him?
I tell you what, this game was made for a player like Casemiro. The elite games. This is what we got Casemiro in for. I still can't understand why he was put on the bench. All this talk about he needs fitness, he needs to get used to this. If he's not playing, then how is he meant to get used to the league? He needs to start playing. Now, obviously, I know that admittedly McTominay's had a few good games, but this is a different level. Like, when has McTominay ever played good against Man City? Like, we need to, up the levels and make sure that we've got the right personnel to deal with Man City. But as you guys said, it was a bit naive from Erling Haaland with that level of midfield. You can't just go to Man City and think that you can just play them off the park, like with that midfield. Like it was just so naive. But as you guys said, he's learning on the job, and I think he'll know for next time that the Premier League, you can't just roll up anywhere and just start playing football. Sometimes you have to adapt your style a bit, like what Fergie used to do. It wasn't just always gung ho. You have to adapt sometimes and realize that the level of opposition that you're playing is elite. Like Man City, the Premier League champions, they've got a squad that's capable of winning the treble, the quadruple. Like it's that sort of level. So to put Bruno in that midfield, who is still not disciplined enough to stay in a position, who's always floating up top and giving the ball away carelessly, I think that was a bit naive as well. And I don't know if Bruno's ever going to be able to adjust his game in the system. Only time will tell, but it's just 7 games in. Eriksen in a game of that magnitude, maybe you're right. Maybe he should have just sacrificed Eriksen, put him on the bench, and put a DM in to give us a bit more security, especially that with Man City going to inevitably have more of the ball, and because obviously with Eriksen's sort of fitness as well, you're thinking this game's going to be super intense. You don't want to get Eriksen tired out with all chasing shadows for 90 minutes. So it was definitely a sort of a backs to the wall sort of game where we just needed to make sure that we had that security. Not that Maguire was playing, but because of how good Man City are, we needed to make sure that the midfield was secure enough to just keep holding the ball, calm the game down, and just sort of disrupt the rhythm of the play. And I think that's what Casemiro would have been good at, because I saw absolutely nothing from McTominay apart from giving the ball away and hiding. If I'm going to be honest with you, it was the same old McTominay, just hiding. I can't remember what he did apart from give the ball away. And even when they were scored, where was he? Like literally, there's no midfield at all. I know we said that we're talking about the midfield, but I didn't see any. The game, it was that bad. Like to see just running through us. I can't remember what goal that Kevin De Bruyne assisted, where he just literally just floated one forward. I think was it Foden that ran onto it.
And then for Haaland to get that.
Man had so much time and space just to float a ball in. It was embarrassing, literally. He just stood there, just thought, okay, just let me pick my spot, and that's it. Like no pressure, no nothing. There was literally no midfield. So Eriksen has got a lot to think about moving forward, because he can't play that midfield again in the elite games. Maybe against the bottom tier teams, but not in the game of this magnitude. So he will definitely learn from it. This ain't the Dutch league where you can just roll up to any team and start playing possession ball. Like this is the Premier League.
He will learn. There's some games you just can't go there and possess.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the most important thing. It's like Ten Hag is learning, and sometimes you have to learn the hard way, which he did against City. But I think I would have even preferred Fred starting ahead of McTominay, because with Fred, you get him running around, you get him trying to win the ball. He might make a wrong pass after winning the ball, but at least he will win the ball back for you. But McTominay was non-existent in that game, which was very poor. And Casemiro came in the second half, and I don't think Casemiro was that good also. But you know what to get from Casemiro. At least the defensive part of the game, he will do that for you. He might not do much going forward, but he will defend well. McTominay was shocking, and we could see. And one thing I love about Ten Hag is when he makes his substitution, we will know that he's really watching the game. He brought up McTominay, brought up Rashford, brought in Martial, Casemiro. So you can see that he's watching the game and he's understanding what is going on, and he's making the changes. And that's what we could ask for in games like this. And the changes he made, he changed the game. He got the 3 goals. So hopefully they can build off that. And thank God that our next game is Omonia, whatever their name is. We can get a result from there, and hopefully get a result against Everton and build off that.
Yeah, definitely, man. And of course, again, guys, moving on to that, the Ronaldo situation where took place. Roy Keane and Michael Richards going back and forth saying that Ronaldo is here to score goals, not to do X, Y, and Z. Of course, my opinion is if Ronaldo started, and I'm sure Jerome, you feel the same way, he would have done nothing. I understand that he scored X amount of goals. Last year he was our top goal scorer, but there's more to just scoring goals. Like unless you're Erling Haaland, where you don't have to be involved in the game, but they know that if they give you that opportunity, you're converting it straight into a goal because you work hard for the team, you got pace and etc. You can offer a bit more than just scoring goals. So unless you're Erling Haaland in it, but with Ronaldo himself, generally don't think that debate that was taking place, is needed. I don't understand what the reason is regarding the Ronaldo situation, and I generally don't believe it's disrespectful for the way Ronaldo's being treated, because it was disrespectful for you to go halfway through the summer transfer window and tell you that you want to leave when we finished outside the Champions League position in May. Not turning up for pre-season and whatever for so and so reason. Maybe the reasons were genuine, but still not turning up for the first time when the guys flew back from Thailand from the. That's what, Jerome? Is that you at the background?
Oh no, that's so that's my mate. So in the kitchen. So you hear it? So sorry about that.
Yeah, so as I was saying, So you not turning up for training, not turning up for preseason. Your agent going around Jorge Mendes whoring himself out and whoring Ronaldo in every single club that he can think of. That shows levels of disrespect. So for us, the Ronaldo what treatment he's getting right now is deserving. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
I think it's just the agendas that these so-called pundits already have against Ten Hag, and they've been waiting for the moment to do this, because against us now, he benched Ronaldo and Casemiro before the game started. Everyone, all the pundits, they were slaughtering him. Why would you bench this player and that player? And we won that game. Same against Liverpool. We won the game where Ronaldo didn't play. Before the game, the pundits were all like, Ronaldo should be starting this sort of games, that sort of news. So they've been waiting for the perfect opportunity to roast Ten Hag. And one thing is, I love Ten Hag. I love his confidence. In the press conference, he gives it to them. He's not afraid of anyone. He says it how he sees it, which is good, because the English media, we know how they are. They always want to paint a bad picture. They lost to City 6-3, but we won against Arsenal, won against Liverpool. You can't tell me because of we lost to City, then Ten Hag is bad. Because everyone was screaming Ronaldo, Casemiro, this and that. When I started the game against Brentford, and we lost 4-0. What did he do in that game? You have to create chances for Ronaldo. And in that game, we didn't create any chance. So, and if Ronaldo has started, I feel it might have been worse if Ronaldo has started that game. We might have considered more goals, because Ronaldo will be non-existent in that game. So, Ronaldo in a City team will score goals because they will create the chances. But in a United team, we are just building this team. And that, to me, if he doesn't play, he doesn't play. Any day he gets his chance to play, fine, he should try and perform. The game against Sheriff was shocking. I felt really bad in that game, because when I started that game and he was making bad decisions, touches were bad, his passing were bad. He got the penalty at the end of the day, but the performance was not there. So playing against the Sherry side and coming into the league, it's two different level. And I think anyone blaming the coach for benching Ronaldo is just wasting. He's not being honest. Because if you are honest, Ronaldo would have done nothing in that City game. We might have lost by 8 goals if Ronaldo has fired.
I think the problem with United is that we've got ex-players that they're still living under this sentiment thing. And I think because Roy Keane and Ronaldo, they're like mates and they're close, like outside of the club. So I think Roy Keane's just backing his guy, really. But really, there's not really much substance to what he's saying about all this disrespecting Ronaldo for keeping on the bench. We've seen that he's not match fit. He's not cut out for this level right now. I know, obviously, he's done great things in the past and he's one of the greats of the game. He's one of the GOATs. But we've seen, that, as Ola said, that he was poor against Real Sociedad, played against Brentford, did nothing. Even the last Europa League game, he scored the penalty. But apart from that, didn't really do anything. He actually really looked like scoring. Even the chances that he's been given, he's just been missing them. He's like, this is not the same Ronaldo. This is not the Ronaldo from 2008, the World Player of the Year at United. This is a different Ronaldo. So all this talk about him being disrespected, it's just all the nonsense, really. Because right now we need mobility up front. We need someone that can interchange and get involved in the play. We can't just have a bystander up there not doing anything and just expecting chances to come to him. Like that's not Ten Hag ball. We need everyone to get involved and get stuck in. So I think he made the right choice in not playing Ronaldo. And to be fair, even if Ronaldo did play, what was he going to do? I guarantee you, Ronaldo would hardly have had any touches of the ball. He would have just been standing up front, waving his hands in the air, being petulant, moaning, and just complaining at the team getting pammed. And it would be like, and then everyone would be looking at him like thinking, come and help us then, innit? Come and help us get the ball. So it's standing there, that's some granddad that can't move. So, yeah, I agree. I agree with Ten Hag. Like, Ronaldo's not ready to start. He didn't have a pre-season because he chose not to come. All this talk about him going away for personal reasons, we don't know what the reasons are, but he just wanted to leave the club at the end of the day. Regardless of what reasons it was, the bottom line is he wanted to leave. That's why he didn't come to pre-season. Now he's been forced to stay here because no one wanted to pay his wages. So he has to just deal with whatever comes now. And Erik ten Hag's trying to work towards the future. And unfortunately, Ronaldo's not part of the future. He's leaving at the end of the season. So Erik ten Hag's just trying to work with a formula without him because he's not part of his long-term plans. And that's just how it is in management. You have to make these decisions. And that is it. Like, obviously, Erik ten Hag doesn't have no affiliation, no sentiment like that previous regime did. So he just be like, you're staying on the bench until I see fit. So I'm totally with Erik ten Hag here.
And our manager before I said that he doesn't care about players with egos, players of high stature, doesn't matter who you are. If you're not performing, you're not doing well, if you're not within the plans, And to me, I'll be honest with you, football has changed now. It's not about what you've done in the past. It's about what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me now? And right now, Ronaldo hasn't really done much for him to justify a reason to be starting, regardless of what he's done last season. So that there, again, I'm with the manager. I back the manager, and I will hope that the club also backs the manager in that way. And which rightly so they have, because it's not like they're pressurizing him to play Ronaldo. Ronaldo's still riding the bench, regardless of even after coming back from international duty. And again, his performance in international duty wasn't even great. So why throw him in a game like that to him further embarrass himself and maybe embarrass his legacy and embarrass the team? So yeah, I'm with the manager, man. Big up Ten Hag for what he's done, guys. Of course, we're not going to go into man of the match because the man of the match was everyone that watched the match till the 90th minute, to the final whistle as a Manchester United fan, because it was fucking hard to do that,
Yes,
it was fucking hard for us to do that, man.
Yeah.
And of course, guys, we've got some trolls on the YouTube sending their dating size and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll sort that out later on. But yeah, as I was saying, it was fucking hard. And then donkey of the match got to go to the players and the staff because, again, they're all accountable for it.
Yeah.
They all are, man. Especially
it's hard to pick on one player because they're all so poor.
Yeah, to even see a picture of Captain Harry Maguire smiling when he was losing. I don't know if it was an accident or he wasn't really smiling or he was smirking. But that picture looked really bad, Jerome. It looked like he enjoyed us getting packed. You need me in defense.
Yeah.
Moving on from the match, of course, we want to cover, as we only got about less than 10, 15 minutes left, looking at what's come out in the news today, as Ola did mention before, Eric Ten Hag has asked the Manchester United board to not offer any player a brand new contract or renew their contract until he's assessed their performances, which is rightly so, because we've seen players who haven't performed being rewarded with a new contract, and we need to avoid something like that because we've done it in the past. So I'm really up for it, because if you got David De Gea's contract that's up for grabs, also Rashford's contract is also up for renewal and etc. A couple of players as well, and all of these players haven't performed in the last couple of seasons. And you're rightly so, we should be waiting until the end of the season, until the manager says, yeah, this guy has had a good season, he deserves a new contract. None of them deserve a new contract right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because the thing is, I think Eric Ten Hag is conscious of the fact that if he starts giving contract renewal, the players are going to just get relaxed. See, my future's secure with the club now, so I don't need to pull my weight or work for anything now. So regardless of what happens, I'm getting paid, and the club can't get rid of me because I'm under contract. So I think he's doing the right thing. He's making sure that these players can earn their contract renewals. And I think players like Rashford, who else has got 1 year? David De Gea. I think Luke Shaw as well, his contract's up soon. All these players, they need to work for their contracts, because right now they haven't shown anything to suggest that they even deserve to be at United. Even in this last summer, people calling for Rashford to leave, people calling for Shaw to leave, like poor performances, literally no consistency. So yeah, I'm definitely with Eric Ten Hag here. And we saw last season, we gave Bruno a new deal. Big, massive pay rise on the back of poor performances. He wasn't even playing well at the time that we gave him a new contract, and he's still playing poorly. So we've got to use it as an example to show that we need to stop giving contracts too early. We did the same with Oli. Gave Oli a contract extension on the back of losing the Europa League final, and we gave Mourinho a contract extension as well, and then ended up sacking him like 6 months later. So yeah, we just need to stop being too hasty with contracts and just take the time, have meetings, and just assess performances, and see whether these players deserve their contracts or not, and start just making rash decisions just to protect their assets, because that's what it seems like. I'll give him a new deal just so that we can maintain his transfer value, and all of a sudden nobody wants to buy him anyway because he's shit. So the club need to make sure they think about these decisions wisely, and not just just do it just for the sake of it. Because he's got 1 year left, let's just extend it. No, assess their performances first and see if they actually deserve it.
Like a real football team, just like in normal life at work, when you want to pay rise and you got your annual review and they tell you how good you've been, and you wonder to yourself, does that even take place at Manchester United? Do they give them performance reviews?
No, they just hand out contracts to anybody, and at this point, I don't care if Rashford doesn't perform this season. If he wants to leave, he's gone. I don't give a fuck. We need to, sorry for the word, for the swear word.
Yeah, sorry, you can swear. I understand your frustration.
We just need to build a team of players that are willing and ready to play for this batch. And anyone that's not ready to get the fuck out of our club, Maguire number one, that guy needs to be out of here ASAP. And I think with Ten Hag, we know it's very ruthless. You have to get your, if you get your chance, you have to show what you can offer, or else you'll be on the bench all through the season. So that's just it. The standard has to change, and now we are already seeing that with Ten Hag already. So
yeah, absolutely, man. The standard definitely has to change. And moving on from the contract renewal, another news come out today, of course, and this one's really gonna hurt you, Jerome, because your guy, I'm about to say, Donny van der Beek, apparently Ten Hag has required him surplus to requirement, and not really leading the squad, and it looks like come January he might be the first player to go as well. And hopefully more than just him, other players that deserve to go, like maybe a Phil Jones that no one ever really wants to buy. Like, we don't talk about him during the transfer window. Like,
no one could buy Phil Jones.
He's not part of the club anymore. Well, just say that he's not part of Man United anymore, because we're not going to see him play again.
Phil Jones is just here collecting his pension, just making money. I'm not even sure Phil Jones wants to play in this team anymore. He's just enjoying himself and chilling, because what does he want to do? But the thing is, I would rather have Phil Jones than have Maguire in my team. Well, that's just
It shows more
how
commitment.
bad. That's just how bad the level of United has gone. But hopefully we can build it back up.
So, Jerome, on your thoughts on that with the
And
news
Donny.
with Donny van der Beek potentially
I can't-
surplus to requirement.
Yeah, I can't even
wasn't
lie.
even in the squad yesterday. Wasn't in the squad. Wasn't
Yeah.
in the Europa League squad as well. Like, just not even on the bench in the last. Like, what is going on with him?
You know what? That's a good question I would like to know, because I keep asking everyone, is he injured? What's happening?
It's his guy as well. That's his
He's
manager.
just gone ghost. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm kind of disappointed in the way everything's turning out for Donny, because I really hoped that he'll be able to get the chance and step up this season under a manager that knows him. But for whatever reason, we don't know the full reasons. It's just not working. He's either injured. Apparently, he's getting married. The marriage is off. He's ill.
What?
He's gone missing.
The marriage is even off.
Yeah, there's too much things. There's too much stuff that I'm hearing. It's like something's not right, fam. Something is not right.
Like,
he went to Everton, didn't play,
Yeah.
got injured. Like, what is going on? Is this guy cursed?
We've done it now. We've done it now. I think Ajax scammed us for selling him for that price. I think Telag has seen something wrong with him at that point, and that was why he had to send him to United at that point. So we fans that were saying, "Oh, he's Tenag's player. Tenag loved him, this and that." Now we can see that Tenag doesn't really love him, because we saw Anthony come into this United team without no preseason and went straight into his starting lineup.
Yeah.
That is if a manager likes a player, that's what you see. But we've done it. We've not even he has played that just like 10 or 15 minutes throughout this season, and that shows you that I'm not sure if Tenag really wanted him at Ajax also, and that was why they sold him at that point. So, but I don't care who goes or who stays. I just want to see my team playing good football
That's
and
exactly
for
what I said.
titles. That's what I want.
As much as I like Donny from what he did at Ajax, and I hope that he could replicate what is his Ajax form to United. If it's not working out for him, then he just needs to go. Because as I said in the group chat, my priority is United winning. I prioritize the squad over individuals, and if it means Donny having to leave because he's not good enough, then he just needs to go, because one player alone is not going to help United get back to winning ways. And if he's not contributing to the team, because right now all I keep seeing is that he's injured or he's ill or he's gone missing. Nobody seems to know where he is. So if that's going to keep continuing, I might just sell him if we can, or just loan him out in January to a club that will actually play him, and just hope that he's not injured, because he just keeps getting injured for some reason. I don't know if it's the club's trying to protect him. He's got some personal stuff going on, because something don't sound right. We don't ever hear anything in the matchday squad that
we've not seen him. We've not heard from him.
Yeah, it just disappears off the face of the earth. So we need to find out what's going on, because something's not right. Because I still to this day think that Donny van der Beek is better than McTominay.
Yeah.
McTominay's got the physical attributes, but he's not a good footballer.
Technically,
Donny's actually a good footballer, but maybe he's just not cut out for the Premier League because of the physical aspects, and he's not covering enough ground. And for all we know, he's getting, as everyone keeps saying, maybe he's just getting shoved off the ball in training all the time, and he's just like a little kid, just getting bullied. I have to be real. Obviously, Donny's my guy, but maybe that's what's happening in training. That he just nobody's taking notice of him. He just, like the new guy that comes in and nobody knows their name, and they just say, "Who's that over there?"
and also in preseason, if we notice, we saw him training with the under 21, with the under 21s, like the likes of Zidane, Iqbal, and the rest. I think there was a message being passed there also that you are not at the level of a player to start in this team. So, but like I said earlier, I don't care. Anyone that doesn't want to play or does not have the chance to play, go somewhere else and enjoy your football. We need to build our own team and get players that are willing and able to play for the Bash. That's all. Yeah,
I think Donny's reminded me when I was a kid that we used to play like on the grass, like after school on the weekend with the lads and stuff. And there was this guy, and he was like proper skillful. He was like proper, like you would have thought he was like Maradona or something, but he was just little, timid, and skinny. And had all the skills. Everyone just shoved him off the ball, literally. Like he could like proper like nutmeg you, do everything, but all you got to do is just barge him and he's gone. He's flying on the floor. You just get the ball with him and he's just do. You didn't even have to be a good footballer. Just be him at McTominay and just bully him off the ball. Just get the ball and just pass it on to the more creative players. I think Donny might be like that in training. Literally, just the guy that's got all the talent, but he just hasn't got all the physical attributes, and he just getting smothered basically, and he's not getting noticed. And sometimes you gotta like put yourself out there, innit? But it doesn't look like he's doing that. It looks like he's just a bit too timid, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And that's about it, to be fair. And we have come to the end of the show. Thank you for everyone that's been watching today, because this has been a good show. Plenty of you watched today. Smash that like button as well. Before we even leave, let me just plug the guys in so that they can tell you exactly where you can find them. Let me start off with you, Ola. Where can the people find you?
I've made a tweak to my name because my channel is now is like it's for the fans. I've started my YouTube channel, United Family. That's the new name, the United Family. You guys should please subscribe to the channel, like, turn on your notifications. A lot of content's coming. We just have to build the team and just talk about United, and hopefully it gets better. We shouldn't be talking about we losing. We talk about we winning and just taking all the points we can get. So on Instagram, the United Family, on Twitter, the United Family. Guys, just follow me everywhere, and hopefully we'll get more content. Hopefully I have Ivor and Spice Jerome on my channel also, and just rolling out good content for everyone. Yeah,
of course, man. And see, the thing about me, you work with me. I show the same love in return as well. I will always show that same love. Jerome, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can just find me on Instagram under my username, which is on jwilliams_1. And then obviously you see me on Ivor and Spice's channel. And if Ola invites me onto his channel, you might see me on there as well at some point.
Yes, and of course, guys, you can follow me, Ivor_Spice, personally on the IG and also on Twitter. But most importantly, remember to subscribe, smash that like button. Remember to share across all social media feeds as well. And if you're watching a playback, make sure you put your comments up. Let us know what your thoughts on the game was. Make sure you watch the match reaction of yesterday's game as well. Smash the like button as well. Let me know what your thoughts are. And again, we go back again because we've got the Europa League match watch along and we've got the Premier League watch along, and we come back with a catch up again. So guys, there's going to be plenty of content because there's so much football coming in the next couple of weeks, and we've got the World Cup soon. But big up to everyone that's tuning in as always. You can always find me here Mondays. Next time, again, I said before Thursday, I'll be back live. But it is what it is. This has been the Catch Up Volume 82. Peace and love from everyone here, and we shall see you next time. And as always, as I say, remember to keep it united. As much as it is, keep yourself united. And remember to keep it Red United. We are out. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace. Yeah.